Manny Pacquiao could be handed another world title shot as special exemption lodged. WBA welterweight champion Rolly Romero is eyeing a fight with first ballot Hall of Famer Manny Pacquiao. World amateur champion and Olympic silver medalist Shakhram Giyasov, 17-0, of Uzbekistan, is currently Romero's mandatory challenger. However, Romero, 17-2, has lodged a special exemption to the WBA offices with a view to a bigger payday against PacMan. Giyasov's team, led by manager Vadim Kornilov and attorney Pat English, fervently opposes such an order being granted and has sent a letter to the major sanctioning body demanding that the mandatory fight take precedence. We vehemently object to the granting of any special permit that would excuse Romero from satisfying his mandatory obligation, reads the letter obtained by Boxing Scene. At various points, Giyasov has been provided with inconsistent and shifting justifications for why Romero is allegedly unable to fulfill his mandatory defense. Initially, we were informed that Romero was unable to satisfy his obligation due to a purported medical exemption. We are now told that the basis for the requested exemption is a proposed bout against Manny Pacquiao. It is important to stress that this Pacquiao bout is not confirmed, has not been announced, and is entirely speculative. We understand it is merely being targeted, at best, for March 2026, some considerable way into the future. Further, there is open media speculation that Pacquiao may instead be engaged in discussions regarding a bout against Floyd Mayweather Jr., which only underlines the uncertainty and conjecture surrounding this purported basis for exemption. Granting a special permit on the basis of a non-confirmed, hypothetical matchup would undermine the credibility of the mandatory system and materially prejudice Giyasov's earned position as the division's leading challenger. It is worth noting that Giyasov has been mandatory challenger since February 2024 and has already been asked to defer his mandatory twice for Imantas Stanionis to attempt to unify, and more recently, with Romero being permitted a voluntary defense. It is particularly egregious in circumstances where Romero was previously permitted to delay his mandatory obligations on the express proviso that Giyasov would be immediately ordered to fight for the title in Romero's next fight, with no exceptions. Manny Pacquiao vs. Rolly Romero talks stall. As Giyasov's team laid out, Pacquiao and Romero were initially in talks to face each other earlier this year, before a possible rematch with Floyd Mayweather stalled negotiations. Pacquiao even told Filipino media in October that they were finalizing terms. However, a few weeks later, it was revealed that Netflix was exploring a Mayweather-Pacquiao sequel, over a decade after their lucrative inaugural encounter. There have been no public developments on the situation since late October, while it appears the two combatants may have differing preferences for the format of the fight. Pacquiao has repeatedly declared that he will only run it back with Mayweather if it is a professional bout. Mayweather, on the other hand, seems reluctant to risk his perfect 50-0 record and would prefer an exhibition, according to Pacquiao. Boxing's lone 8-weight world champion turns 47 years old later this month, but after holding WBC welterweight title holder Mario Barrios to a draw in July, he is on the hunt for gold. If a fight with Romero gets over the line next year, and Pacquiao is subsequently able to get his hand raised, then he would become the second oldest boxing world champion of all time behind Bernard Hopkins.